Welcome to the Nourish Expert YouTube channel.
Hi everyone, my name is Timothy here, nutrition aficionado, and welcome to the Nourish Expert YouTube channel, where we delve into how mindset influences our eating habits. In today's video, we'll discuss about how to simplify your health. We delve into why eating healthy is simpler than you think. And if you're eager to support my mission, you can do so by buying one of my Nourish Expert shirts, black or white, at only $20, which is approximately 80,000 Ugandan shillings. This money helps me in improving the video production process. Thank you very much. If you ask anyone in Uganda particularly about their perspective or what they think about eating well, many people will tell you that eating well is for the rich. They will tell you that eating well is very expensive, eating well is very hectic, it requires a lot of time. They will tell you that eating well is not something that is sustainable, or it's not something that you can do with ease on a day-to-day basis. But is this really right? In this video, I want us to discuss about whether this is really right or wrong. Now, I for one, I hate going with the masses. I hate just believing things without putting my mind to them, without critically thinking about them, despite the fact that I read something somewhere, or despite the fact that an expert on a particular issue tells me something. I usually want to make my mind about that particular thing. I usually want to wrap my mind about that particular thing and get an independent judgment about that particular issue. And for me, I apply this to everything in my life, be it money, be it books, be it food. So I took some time to think about this issue of whether eating healthy is hard, whether eating healthy is expensive, and I believe it is very simple. Eating healthy is one of the simplest things a human being can do for him or herself. So why do I say eating healthy is simpler than you think? Number one, local produce and traditional foods. When you look at the local produce that we have here in Uganda, the avocados, the bananas, the watermelons, the lemons, the oranges, these are things that we grow here in Uganda. These things are cheaper compared to the things that are imported here, or the things that are manufactured in the factory. Why? When you look at the economies of scale, a banana is just going to go from the garden to the market and you buy it. But now when you look at banana juice, you have to go from the market, it goes to the industrial factory whereby it is processed, made into juice, it is packaged, then from there it is transported to the supermarket, and all this is money. You can't buy it cheaply. Even if it is 1,000 shillings, over time when you add up, people that do economics can tell me this. But it is cheaper for you to buy local produce. It's cheaper for you to buy the traditional foods, because these foods not really go through lots of processes like transportation to the market, processing, storing. It is cheap. So if I'm at a restaurant and I have an option of choosing between a meal that comprises sweet potatoes and beans and choosing a pizza, if I want to eat healthy, why wouldn't I choose this? As long as I know that this is more healthier than this, why wouldn't I choose sweet potatoes and beans? Why would I have to choose spaghetti? Why would I have to choose a pizza? Why would I have to choose soda? Because I know which is healthy and what is not healthy. Before we continue, if you're finding value in what you're hearing, why not consider sharing this episode with someone who might benefit from it? It's from word of mouth referrals like yours that help fuel the growth of this channel. Your support fuels the growth of this channel, and I genuinely appreciate it. The second point why I think that eating healthy is simpler than you think is that if you know how to moderate and balance the things you eat, you can eat healthy. Many people don't know that eating healthy is all about eating a balanced diet and eating everything in moderation. Despite the fact that nutrition experts will tell that fruits and vegetables are healthy, you don't have to eat only fruits and vegetables from Monday to Sunday. or you don't have to eat loads and loads of them. The key about health is about moderation and balance. So if you have this knowledge, you can always be sure that you always have enough resources to allocate to particular foods along the week or along the month, depending on how you're planning your meals. When I talk of balance, I mean not eating one thing day in and day out. When I talk of moderation, I mean not eating too much and not eating too little. You just have to eat what's enough. You have to know what is enough. For example, if I'm serving food on my plate, I know that I'm supposed to have carbohydrates, I'm supposed to have proteins, I'm supposed to have vegetables, and perhaps a fruit. So when I'm balancing my plate, I know that the vegetables have to take a bigger portion, maybe a bigger portion than the carbohydrates. So these are the things that you really have to know, such that you are eating in a balanced way and you're eating in moderation. Knowing these things makes eating healthy very, very, very simple. I'll tell you a small story. There lived two gentlemen. Now, one gentleman was slightly rich and the other gentleman was slightly poor. So, the poor gentleman, let's call him Tom, and the rich gentleman, let's call him Peter. Tom was always seen in the garden digging and sweating to plant his food. He used to plant vegetables, he had mango trees in his garden, he had lots of fruits like passion fruit. From January to December, year in, year out, his house was always full of food. Never lacked food at his house. But he was poor, he didn't have so much money. So this rich man, Peter, for him, he used to buy his food from the markets, from the supermarkets, and the fact is that he always wondered how someone could survive without money. Because whenever I used to look at Tom who didn't have money, Tom was always having food at his home. So one time there was scarcity of water and they met at the well. So they start discussing, and when you meet people and you are social, you can start a conversation with each other and discuss about whatever you are discussing about. So Peter asks Tom, "Hey Tom, how do you go about your life? I see you don't have so much money, but I'm already seeing you having food in your home year in, year out. Your kids are never hungry throughout the year." So Tom tells Peter, "You know what? It's just mindset. Yeah. For you, you have money, you even have lots of land in your compound, but you barely grow any fruit. You barely have a vegetable in your compound. You may have little land, but I try as much as possible to make sure that I cultivate crops on this land because I know that the food we eat comes from agriculture. So it doesn't make sense for me to have small land around me and not utilize it." And another thing, when I'm growing my food, I get to exercise and I'm also growing my own food in that it becomes cheaper for me. So I'm eating two birds with one stone. I feel fulfilled with my life. So Peter looked at Tom and was like, "What? You mean you feel happy digging? You feel happy growing your own food? Isn't it so straining in this modern world? Wouldn't you want to just have money and buy things easy?" Tom was like, no, I have no problem with this." So the lesson from this story is that sometimes we think that growing our own food and cultivating our own food is difficult, but if you really mind about your health and want to be healthy, some of these things are simple. If you have land in your compound, why not cultivate some vegetables there? Why don't you grow some passion fruits? Why don't you just grow something? The fourth point is food choices. Now, this is the biggest thing when it comes to making health simpler. I want to break this down in the tiniest bit possible. Let me say I have 2,000 shillings and I'm very hungry. I go to the shop and I am seeing a chapati of 1,000 shillings I'm seeing a donut of 500 shillings. I'm seeing bananas, they're selling 3 bananas 1,000 shillings. I'm seeing an avocado is being sold at 1,000 shillings. Now, this is the same money. A person that has nutrition information will not look at food with the perspective of just being eaten to satisfy hunger. Look at food the perspective of satisfying your hunger, but also enriching your body with nutrients. So if I have 2,000 shillings and I'm hungry, what would be the best thing to do? Simple. I don't know whether it's just me looking at it as a simple thing, but it's a simple thing. I would buy my bananas for 1,000 shillings. I also buy an avocado for 1,000 shillings. Why would I buy a chapati for 1,000 and 2 donuts for 500 shillings? Yet there's a better option that can give my body more nutrients. So you see how simple these things are? These are just simple things. As long as we twist our mindset and understand that food is not just about feeling satisfied. Eating is more than feeling satisfied. We have to eat in order to satisfy the hunger, but also feed our bodies with the nutrients. So it's all about choices in the end. I'm thirsty. Why don't I just buy a bottle of water rather than buying a bottle of soda? Because I know soda has too much sugar, too much caffeine, and it's not at all good for my health. The best thing is for me to opt for the best choice, water. Isn't this simple? How hard is this? How hard is this? The fifth point is all about meal planning. Many people say eating healthy is very expensive. I can't be eating traditional food in this restaurant because it's more expensive than the processed food or the junk food. Chips on the streets of Kampala is cheaper than buying traditional. But all this is wrong. I don't believe this because I live in Uganda and I know that if you decide to eat healthy, you can eat healthy. If you decide to eat in a crappy way, you can eat in a crappy way. Now, let us look at an example. Let us illustrate. A person that wakes up in the morning and your job is in the office. Literally, your office will either provide you with a lunch or you'll have to buy this food from a restaurant outside or somewhere else. When you look at the money, let me say you are spending 10 to 15,000 shillings on lunch 6-7 days a week. This is too much money. This is too much money if you have to add up. Comparing to the salary that you earn, this is really too much money. For people that are earning 600, 500,000 shillings and you have to be buying food at 10,000, 15,000 every day, literally you only be working for lunch, yet you have to pay rent, you have to pay for transportation, you have to pay for utilities at home, you have to attend to other needs as an adult. But if you look at this differently, the other way around, how about if I bought things that I can pack in my food, things that can keep hot things hot and cold things cold, things that can keep food safe, and I started preparing my meals from home day in, day out. It would be very, 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 very cheap. I've tried it myself, and there's a time I used to work at a place and people always saw me with these containers, and because I'm a man, so like Timothy alimolo kazi in Luganda, meaning that Timothy is quite feminine, just because I was always carrying my food. I knew that this was the only way I could save and eat healthy at the same time. If I decided to buy food at work, it would be very expensive, and the fact that the healthy food I needed was expensive made things worse. So I decided to prepare my meals myself. So I don't believe when someone tells me that eating healthy is difficult, it is very expensive. No. Try channeling the same amount of money you use for buying the unhealthy food and channel it to the healthy food, and tell me how things will be. I don't believe that eating healthy is expensive and difficult. It's all about mindset. We just have to twist, because what you value, you always create time for it. In Luganda, they say, "Chuyagala chikuseeza." If you like something so much, you always try as much as possible to make it happen or strive towards it. Let us see you failing towards the path of being healthy. And we shall say he died in honor because he was striving towards the path of health. But it can't happen. You can't die while striving towards health. No, it can't. Unless otherwise. Lastly, for those that have watched up to here, here's a bonus. I'll leave with a quote. There's a quote that says that excuses are nails we use to build a house of failure. If you are to keep giving excuses about why you're not eating healthy, you are building a house of failure. It may sound convincing to your ears and your mind, or to whatever person that you are expressing your excuse to, but I want you to know at the back of your mind that that excuse that you're giving, that food is very expensive, that I don't have the time to prepare food at home, it is something you're using to build a house of failure. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and give a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell such that you don't miss an update. If you didn't enjoy this video, please leave a comment in the comment section below. I value your feedback because it helps me improve future content. For daily nutrition tips, you can follow me on X or former Twitter at Nourish Expert, and I'll be able to deliver daily nutrition content to you to help you live healthy lives. In all that you do, remember that good nutrition starts with the right mindset. Thank you so much for watching. Your support means the whole world to me.